Adventure. Everyone has their idea of what an adventure is. For some it's as simple as going to the beach, for some it's as intense as climbing Everest. For these two brothers, adventure was the idea of trying something new and giving it a shot. That's where this story begins. Just northwest of Boston, nestled in between the small towns of Jaffrey and Dublin, lies Mt Monadnock. It stands tall in the vast forest and stands highest above the surrounding landscape. To get to Mt Monadnock, we took a long way around, avoiding highways and seeking adventure while reaching a destination. Our trip, which would typically be a boring 3 to 4 hour ride on the highway, was extended to about 6 hours of back road riding. We'd start our journey here, from southern Connecticut, and travel along the eastern side of New York to northwest Massachusetts. There we'd cut in and travel along the Mohawk Trail, then finally to our destination, Mt Monadnock, in southern New Hampshire. Our journey started on a humid but calm morning. We both shared an eagerness to hop on our bikes and get going. We had no schedule and left when we were ready to make sure we didn't feel rushed. We wanted to enjoy every moment. At the same time, there were some nerves as the weather called for rain all along our route. This was something which stayed in the back of our minds as the rain was forecasted for most of our trip. But we stayed positive and treated the possible rain as an addition to our adventure. We made sure to stop frequently to either take in the views, hide from the rain, get a bite to eat, fuel up, and drink lots of water as the day progressively got hotter and hotter. The Mohawk Trail was a highlight of our route. Rarely are you blown away by a road. It has sweeping turns and breathtaking views, which is certainly something we won't forget.
Today.
After a long trip, we were exhausted, but we had to set up camp. I remember thinking that even though I'm so tired, I was really eager for what the upcoming day had to bring. We had gained quite the appetite, and on the menu for the first night was some delicious flame-roasted Michelin star hot dogs with a side of grocery store chili slathered on a baguette. Quick, easy, and delicious. The perfect combination. Soon after dinner, we heard thunder in the distance, and we got nervous this would ruin our night. As the storm clouds moved in, the rain started to fall. Rather than scurry into our tents, we decided to enjoy it and find some trees to hide under, feed the fire, and have some drinks. After a thunderous hour or so, the skies cleared up and things stayed dry for the rest of the night. Of course, we needed to eat before our expedition, so for breakfast we had some delicious boiled eggs, some bread, and coffee. Mt Monadnock sits roughly 3,165 feet high and is one of the most climbed mountains in the world. It has an estimated 125,000 climbers a year. The mountain's bare and isolated summit gives the travelers from near and far wide, clear views. The first recorded climb of Mt Monadnock was on July 31st, 1725 by Captain Samuel Willard. While 15 days into his vengeful hunt for Native Americans, he recorded his ascent of the mountain, marking it to be the first, although without a doubt many before him have climbed it. However, we weren't going for vengeance or for a spur-of-the-moment adventure. We were seeking an opportunity to start something new and to open a door to new adventures to follow. The hike was one we couldn't forget. We took the Red Dot Trail. It had steep grade changes and allowed for a mix of traditional hiking and scramble climbing. This forced us to use our hands and feet from time to time. As we got higher and higher, the temperatures dropped and the annoying bugs couldn't get to us, so it became more enjoyable. With our shirts soaked in sweat after 1 hour 45 minutes, 3.5 miles, and 2,000 feet of elevation, we had finally summited the mountain. All around us we had views as far as our eyes could see. As we sat on the summit, we kind of sat in silence. We ate our peanut butter sandwich, enjoyed an apple, and took in the view. There was a sense of calmness. There was a sense of achievement, as we were covered in sweat and exhausted. We sat there, taking in our adventure, and looking at what we had accomplished. Once we reached the bottom and made it back to camp, we were both ready to take it easy for the rest of the day. We read our books, had some dinner at a local spot, sat by the fire once again, and headed to bed as we were both more than exhausted and had a long trip home the following day.
Ready to go?
Yep.
We're all packed up. Campsite's empty.
As we packed our tents and geared up to go home, we were excited to go back to the comfort of our home, take a shower, and be in our own beds. The venture ending meant we were going back to reality and the fast pace of life, but we reflected on our journey and recalled why we'd left home in the first place, to find a new beginning, a new challenge, a new adventure. We realized how much happiness comes from being on a motorcycle, and how special it is to share that with someone close. We found that having fun sometimes takes a bit of courage to travel in a new way, or to a new place you've never been before. So for us, this adventure only left us wanting more.